Hello everyone and welcome to a new weekly market outlook video. As always, we start with looking at the economic calendar. The last month of the year is here, December 2025, and as you can see, the first week of the month brings a lot of high impact news events with it. We have high impact news events for the US dollar today, on Monday, on Wednesday, on Thursday and on Friday. Only Tuesday there's no high impact news event being planned, but this doesn't mean for me that I won't be trading, because I'll definitely be trading Tuesday as well, as this day is the second day of the week and it's in between high impact news event days, and there's no other high impact news, like really high impact news event like CPI, non-farm payroll or FOMC. Usually the data for non-farm payroll gets released at the first Friday of the month, so that would be the Friday 5th of December. But as you can see, it's not on the economic calendar, so there won't be non-farm payroll this week. But we have a lot of other high impact news events where we can trade with. As always, my advice would be to not trade before high impact news events happens, but wait for the volatility to happen first. Wait for some more volume, and after that, after price hunts some liquidity, for example, we are ready to trade. So just be patient, that's always my advice. But let's head over to the charts, the most interesting part. As you can see here, let's reverse it for one time. Let's start with gold. What you guys probably know, for now the previous 2 weeks, I pointed out these crack in the lows over here for gold and silver. And what I also pointed out for, I believe since 3 weeks ago, are these equal highs over here for silver. Because above equal highs, or relatively equal highs, where the second high is lower than the first high, and the same goes for lows, when the second low is higher than the first low, when you have relatively equal lows, what usually happens is there's a lot of buy side liquidity above these highs, because retail sees this as resistance, sees this area as resistance, so they put their stop loss between here, and the market will hunt for the stop loss orders that are in this area over here above these highs. So with this in mind, the equal highs over here, this is a clear draw on liquidity. That's why I pointed this out for the past 3 weeks. And the cracks that happened over here with silver and gold inside the inverse fair value gap, as you can see over here in gold. With that in mind, my bias last week was bullish, and as you can see, we were definitely bullish. We traded higher, created some nice new all-time highs for silver, and for gold we are pretty indecisive for what will happen next, because there are 2 scenarios possible. One of them is we follow silver, but we're just less with less energy. Takes us a little longer, but eventually we'll trade until this 4400 level for gold, and also create new all-time highs here. That's scenario number 1. And then we have scenario number 2, that is that these highs over here will create a crack in correlation, which gets confirmed on the lower time frame, and that's when I would shift my bias lower. But honestly, I expect us to trade higher, especially if we close above this bearish fair value gap over here. If we trade through it, maybe today or tomorrow, I will look in this area to see if we can treat it as a support area and trade higher from there and bounce to these highs over here. So that's my look on silver. Let's move over to Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, I'm really indecisive. Last week we've been trading into this order block on the weekly time frame. We've closed inside this fair value gap, which might be a potential sign that we would turn bullish. But as you can see, the week after that, the previous week, we traded in this weekly inverse weekly fair value gap, touched the top of it, treated as resistance, because from there we've been trading lower again. So gun to my head, what do I expect from price to do now? If I have to choose one or the other, I would say we will trade bearish, because price has been so bearish lately. The whole market structure is bearish. sell side liquidity resting below the low over here at 74.3 level. And also we have these cracks over here at the highs if you compare it to Ethereum. So order flow is still bearish, so I wouldn't switch my bias until something really obviously bullish happens, but that is not the case for now. Last but not least, let's look at silver, or let's look at DXY with euro. If we look at the daily time frame, last week what we pointed out was this cracking correlation over here with the lows, including this cracking correlation over here with the lows. As you can see, we make a higher low over here compared to DXY, a higher low over here compared to DXY. What should DXY do in this scenario? It should create a lower high. It doesn't do it here, higher high. It doesn't do it here, higher high. So that's something we can use as a sequential SMT. And this SMT, since this happened, this crack, we've been traded through this bullish fair value gap over here, treated as resistance over here. So I expect this, gun to my head, what will we do now? I expect this to trade lower for DXY and higher for the euro. Although now on the smaller time frame, if you look at the 4-hour chart for example, you can see, if you compare the euro or the DXY, doesn't matter, with GBP, you can see that here we create higher highs on the euro, and here we create higher highs on the euro, while on GU on both occasions we create a lower high. So that's a double cracking correlation on the at the highs for the euro, so the lows for the DXY. So this can be a potential temporary reversal. I don't expect this to completely reverse due to the higher time frame bias that I had and explained before, but this is potential something to watch out for. Like we can also switch bearish here, so I would be looking for some more confirmation. But gun to my head, what do I expect where to trade over the following week? For euro, I would say we would trade until this high over here to the 1.165 level. That was the weekly market outlook for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was insightful. I hope it was educational, and I would love to see you in the next one. Take care.